Hello, viewers. This is Michael from Screen Review, bringing you a new podcast to my seventh code of Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to breach apart during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And also, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language if you're under 18. If you're over 18, that means you got to watch this audio podcast recording. Now, with this everything else out of the way, let's get into let's get into the latest episode of Gozyuger. So basically, we see this distinguished figure named we see this we pick up from the last thoughts in the previous episode. This strange figure named Wing Hunter Garu has shot the type. It's like Izu, the Titanium Ranger of the Gozyuger of the Gozyuger's universe, and basically shot him and basically won his Sentai wing for him, and ended up kidnapping him. So basically, the Ranger is like, that was kind of messed up here. The Gogeta that was kind of messed up, like shooting him in the back and whatnot. So basically, they had a little brief scuffle with this wing hunter, Garyudo, and basically he ended up kidnapping the Titan, into kicking. Also, who is the Titan? Who is the red Titan? Who is the red Titan Rhino Ranger of the Gozyuger Sentai universe, and basically took him away. So meanwhile, after that situation was over, we cut back to the bad guys' hideout. We go back to the No.1 world, and we cut to the bad guys' hideout. We see Mr. We see Mr. Shiny Knife and Miss Sweet Cake, basically just watching Fire Candle say that, I'm ready this time to take down Gozyuger this time. And basically, we see, they're in this big hallway. Behind them, there's this big door. These two doors that open up, and we see this robot head. And it turns out the robot head is called Queen Tega June, who is the leader of the bad guys. So basically, Mr. Nice and Miss Sweet Cake and Mr. Canada was like, that she was awake, and basically started to speak to them, and basically she summoned she asked for the Wing Hunter Garyudo, and basically Garyudo showed up, and basically he had a bunch of Sentai rings in his hand, showing Queen Tega June, and basically like good progress. So anyway, I desire the Sentai rings in my husband. So basically, it gets you wondering if the Tega sword is her husband, but she stated she desires the Sentai rings and her husband. So basically, it gets you wondering. She used the word husband, but who is her husband? Is it the calamity is that creature who took out the Sentai mechas, or is it the Tega sword who is her husband? But it, it was not. It's not been said. So basically, what she said, she desires the Sentai rings and her husband. So basically, we don't know for a fact that if the Tegasword is her husband, or is it that calamity beast that the Tegasword took down with the help of the other Sentai mechas as of yet. So anyway, Garudo, after Garudo was done talking to the queen, he told Fire Candle that, I'll take care of Garyudo. So basically, don't worry about Garyudo. I'll take care of myself. And Firecan was not happy that whoa, go to Bruce's mind. So basically, Garuda was like, don't worry, he won't be your problem anymore. So basically, and Fire Kingdom was, was not happy with the situation, cause him and Go to the Roof or have this strange rivalry with each other ever since they met in the first episode. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the cafe, we see Ryoga and Kenjin, about to head out and make some deliveries for the cafe, and basically, like, Howard was coming out of his apartment because he lived in an apartment above the cafe, and basically, like like Hal still doesn't have a job, and basically, since he was kind of shocked that Ryoga, who is the manager of the cafe, hired Kenjin to work at the cafe instead of him. So basically, Ryoga was like, fine, if you want to work for me, they stay here. And so basically, he picked up Hal and puts her on the ground like a dog and say, "You be a good guard dog and guard the cafe while me and Kenja are done delivering the orders for the cafe." And basically, Hal felt very insulted about 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 what we always said to him, like I'm a good guard, a good guard dog and whatnot. So anyway, the stranger walks in and turns out it was Hal's older brother, who goes by Kaon. I think it's K. I think his older brother goes by Kaon now. So basically, Hal was kind of shocked that his brother is back, etc. etc. Did ask. And he didn't really ask questions about how he got free, how he got free from the no the no one world and whatnot. But he was just happy to see his older brother again. So basically, it turned out that Kaon, ever since he got free from that world, he he's this big vice president CEO of his own company and whatnot, and basically he was showing around his company studio and whatnot, and etc. etc. So basically he knows about. So how did see his parents with did see their parents with their new adopted sons and all of that, blah blah blah. But he was happy to see his little brother again and whatnot. So basically, Howard's kind of happy that his brother is here. As long as we got each other and whatnot, things are gonna be good and whatnot. So anyway, Kaon was, showing how his business and whatnot, etc. Hanging out with, just hanging out and whatnot until he got to, until one of his employees wanted to talk to him in private about some secret project, and basically, Kaon stepped out for a minute while Howard was eating this expensive sushi parlor and whatnot, and basically, so basically, Kaon was talking to the party that things are not is going very well for this secret project that they're working on, and all of a sudden we see him make this have these fingers and make an X sign. All of a sudden, the employee, something bad happened to Kaon did something bad to his employee. It seems like either he killed him or basically seems like he took his employee out after getting the bad news about the setback about some secret project he that has been working on by his company and whatnot. So anyway, we see Ryoga and Kenjin stop by the meat market after they were done with their delivery. Kenjin was like, maybe we should bring back some meat for Hal, cause bring back some meat to Hal, cause you was kind of mean to him. You was kind of mean to him today. And Ryoga said, I know, but at the end of the day, despite us working together, we still want to be we still want to collect the Sentai and make our wishes really come true and whatnot. So basically, like in spite of us working together most of the times, we're still rivals as well. So basically, like Kitchen said, I understand that, but we can at least be nice to each other. Anyway, Fire Candle. So basically, Fire Candle showed up with a bunch of foot soldiers and started to attack some people trying to get Hal out. He wanted to fight Hal, and basically he started to attack some people and cause some damage and whatnot. And basically, Ryoga and Kenshin got word from the other Rangers, and basically they went to go fight Kenshin and a bunch of foot soldiers. Anyway, meanwhile, we see we see how and Kaon working towards the fight, and basically and that's when Kaon started to flip on Hal, and basically you have no ambition and whatnot, and so his June changer, except for his June changer, his June his Tega his Tega June changer on his Tega June changer weapon and wing, and basically he said that so basically, and that's when Hal realized that your wing has to go Garyudo, and basically that what you did to the Tyrannosaurus. He said, "Don't worry about him." So basically, he started to say some harsh words about him, like you're nothing but an animal. You don't have any dreams, no ambitions at all. You don't honestly you don't even deserve to be a gold user because you don't even have a desire for any wish. You don't even have any ambition for what you want to wish for and whatnot. So basically, after taking all those words to heart, and that's when Hal start to start to start to start to start to morph up and start to fight the other Rangers and whatnot. And basically, gangster Kaon's, harsh words and whatnot, and basically how Kaon managed to his harsh words managed to turn his front against the other Rangers and whatnot. So anyway, Fire Kid did not care that didn't care he was fighting that Hal was fighting the other Rangers. Fire Kid wanted to fight Hal and whatnot, and they got into this giant Megazord fight. So basically, Hal summoned the Tegazord, summoned the giant Tegazord and formed the red Tegazord Megazord, and Firecat summoned this new mecha to fight against the Tegazord red Megazord. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Kaon transformed into Wing Hunter Garyudo and basically started to fight against the other Gozyuger, and he used the power of the Gosei ring and the Ninninger ring to make copies of the Red Rangers and used them to fight against the other Gozyugers, and also he managed to turn those Ranger copies into their personal weapons as well. So basically, he can make copies of. He can use the Sentai ring to make copies of the Red Rangers, of the Red Ranger of that named Sentai did, and also use those weapons as well against the Gozyugers. So anyway, things were not going well. Things were not going well in the makers of fight with Hal for Hal. So basically, Fire Canada was basically winning, and basically was winning against the makers of fight against Hal, and basically Fire Canada had the opportunity to finish off Hal in the Tegazord Red Megazord, but he said, he stopped. He said, "This is pathetic. Pathetic. I know that your brother is pulling your string. Your older brother is the one who is I know that your older brother is pulling your string somehow. So basically, like, you're not yourself. So basically, I want to defeat you right now. This will be this will be meaningless. So basically, it's like he's saying that since your older brother is pulling your string, you're not yourself. I'm just gonna say screw it, and basically, Firecracker and this mecha just walk away from Tegazord, Megazord, and Hal. It's like this is this is ridiculous. Like come back when you're not your brother's puppet or something like that. You're back to your old self, and we will fight again. So basically, KR was about to was at was about to finish off the Go users, but the Go users managed to evade his final attack from his Tega June changer weapon, and basically, that's when KR disappeared after he failed to take down the after his after his final attack failed to take out the Go users. So anyway, the Go users was not happy with how after how came out of the Megazord, the Go users was not happy about this. It's like especially with your brother, like was asking like are you with your brother or are you with us? Or with us? If you're not, we will have no choice but to take you out right here and take your ring. And basically, and that's when Hal said that what, I don't care. I don't care. And basically, he took off his Go user ring and dropped it on the ground. He said that you guys can have it. I don't have no desire to be. I don't have the desire to continue as a Go user anymore. And basically, and he just walked away from the other Rangers, and the Rangers were kind of in shock about the situation. We see how his brother, the Chaos, watching. He said that, "Oh, well, things are things looking up for you, my little brother." And basically, the episode ended with how brother looking at how from a building top, from a high point of a building, seeing his little brother how basically quitting the team and dropping his Sentai ring, quitting the Go users and dropping his Sentai ring behind with the Go users, and this how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, this episode brings up a good question. Question about about the leader of the main leader being Queen Tega June, saying that she wants the Sentai rings and her husband. So basically, it got you wondering: is the Tegator her husband, or was it that creature who took out that the Tegator took out? Who took out is her husband. So basically, it gets you wondering what she meant by "I desire my husband." So basically, is the Tegator her husband, or is it that calamity beast that the Tegator fought against with the other Sentai mechas is her husband or not? So anyway, but otherwise, this was a good episode. Anyway, what do you guys think about this latest episode of Gozyuger? Good, bad, or just okay? Please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, signing off. Let's go reviews. 1.